Hello everyone, this is Tigri La Gardenia, your nature-inspired leadership mentor. Welcome back to Firmly Planted, Lessons from the Plant Kingdom for how to evolve in harmony with nature. So we made it to part 3. Here we are today in rooting for each other. How plants can help you inspire others, recognize the need for conscious action. And wow, there's so much to say. So in Plant Speak, which was our first video, we talked about the need to reconnect, to stop, slow down, take time for yourself, sit here, recognize who you are. And in our second one, Sowing New Seeds, we talked about how the ways that we've currently been operating haven't been working and why it's super important for you to build a resilient base that gives you then space to test out new mutations, because it is in those mutations where we get to experiment new things and try new things and build in a new way. And those mutations today are often seen as something that's bad when we have new and unusual and unexpected things happen. Rather than seeing them as an opportunity, we actually see them as a problem. And so today I've been sitting here with this beautiful cherry tree. As you can see, this is a quite unusual cherry tree. It has this arc, and this cherry tree is a great example of a mutation, of something very unusual. And I come out here whenever I want to kind of experience and meditate on and think about and converse about what it's like to really be different and how do we really let those differences shine. So this is a tree that could have easily been cut down thinking that maybe it was unhealthy or maybe something was wrong with it. But in reality, you can't see it right now, but it's growing beautiful flowers and it's growing big and strong. And it just has a different form and a different shape that's not what we're normally used to. And that's really the message for right now. The message for right now is that we need to embrace and expend and share our differences, share our mutations. This is not a period for social isolation when it comes to the traditional way of separating ourselves. Up until now, many of us have been using technology as a way to actually isolate, as a way to hide, as a way to say things without getting involved. We've been using technology as a way to separate ourselves out, and we've been using things like meditation and mindfulness and a whole series of other really beautiful activities as a way to actually justify our need to be by ourselves and to not engage in certain types of practices. But right now, the message from the plant world is that this is no longer acceptable. Even the World Health Organization just came out today and said that they want to eliminate the use of the word social distancing in this period. They want to move it to physical distancing because they do not want people to socially distance themselves from their peers and from their community networks. On the contrary, this is a time for you to reinforce those. And that's really what the plant world wants more than anything right now. They want us to use technology as a mutation. This is a mutation of where is giving us the opportunity to create a testing ground where we can test the use of tools that have historically allowed us to isolate as a way to actually reconnect. Because it's no longer acceptable for us to stand by the sidelines and just watch as the game of life goes on. It's no longer acceptable for us to see things happen in the world and think we're powerless to do anything or think that it's not my responsibility to do anything. We as humans are part of the world, and therefore we are responsible for everything that happens in the world. And the message from the plant world right now is that with loving kindness, we need to share our gifts, our talents, our knowledge, and even our gut instincts. It reminds me of the beautiful quote. Most of you know this quote. It's by Martin Niemöller. He was a German Lutheran pastor, and this quote was very popular. I'm going to give it a new context for you. It's the quote that says, first they came for the socialists, but I was not a socialist. And I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. And then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. And this is what has happened with our planet. This is what's happened with the plant world. We have stood by the sidelines and said, those people are hurting it, without getting personally involved, without sharing in the little actions as well as in the big actions. Now, each of us can only act at a level that we can act, but we need to act at that level. For example, if you see somebody doing something that you know is hurting the environment, somebody throws something in the wrong recycle bin, or somebody who's wasting water, it's no longer acceptable for us to just say, well, that's the way they are, and I don't want to get involved because, maybe they'll get angry with me. No, we want to learn tools for lovingly and kindly sharing with them why it's important for them to actually change those behaviors. We need to take all of that mindfulness work. We need to take all of that being. We need to take all of these different experiences and all these different practices that we've learned, and we need to bring them out on a day-to-day basis, even in the little things. The plants want to support us through this process, so they've created right now a safe space for us. They created a safe space where we could use tools like, internet practices and online practices, where we could still maintain a little bit of distance, but where we can start to test out this new voice, where we can start to test out new actions, where we can think about the way that we've been doing things in new ways that we can bring out into the world. And then when the time is right, we can little by little step them out. So this is a great time to acquire new skills, for you to share ideas and with others, for you to start discussions on how you can become a better steward for the planet, how you can become much more active in what's happening, and how you can, even amongst your circle of friends, bring your knowledge and bring your experiences and bring your feelings into a conversation in a way that doesn't create distance or offend, but that in a way opens up to curiosity and information. So this is a great time to use curiosity, to use open-ended questions, to use the ability for you to start discussions as a way to actively contribute to the creation of a new world where we are in harmony with the planet, because each one of us is an active participant in the planet. So this is about wow, I get really passionate about this because I see so many incredible people, incredible human beings standing by the sidelines. And every time I talk with a plant, every time I have a discussion with the plant tells me I'm doing everything I can to nourish the environment in which the person is, in order for that person to feel like they can stand up. But now it's time for you to take the initiative and stand up. In an ecosystem, in a mature forest, for example, we know that certain trees actually nourish stumps. So there are stumps that have been growing, that have been cut down, or trees that have fallen down, but that they're actually being nourished by their roots. And nobody really knows at a scientific level why, but we can assume, or I could share with you what the experience is that I've been told, which is that they're doing this because there is still wisdom and knowledge that comes from that stump that they need, and so therefore they support the stump. And this is exactly the types of channels that we want. The stump shares wisdom and knowledge with the rest of the plants, and the plants support the stump in order to continue to do this. And these are the types of reciprocal relationships that we want to create right now. So I want you to go out and think about how you can really transform during this period the conversations and the relationships that you have, starting with your closest friends, family members, and then going farther out, in order for you to feel that you no longer have to stay quiet when you see injustice, that you no longer have to hold it in when you see somebody doing something that you feel is fundamentally wrong for our planet and for our society in general, and finding new ways for you to lovingly and with all the kind of support that you can give them, share your thoughts and open a dialogue for that, how you can transform and evolve together. So that's rooting for each other. This is what the plants want us to do. I want you to use your voice now, and I want you to use those talents and skills and bring them out for the greater good of society. This is Tigrila Gardenia in Firmly Planted, and have a beautiful day.